So I've never said these out loud, so I'm going to try them uh, with you first, are the three pillars. But before I share them with you, a quote from the great philosopher Dolly Parton. And what she said was, find out who you are and do it on purpose. And the do it on purpose is is a significant underpinning of the kind of ideas that you expose in your work. That here's something you might benefit from if you were trying to do X, Y, or Z on purpose. And I would like to flip Dolly's phrase upside down. And I'd like to say, do it on purpose, and you'll find out who you are. That asking for a guarantee before you start isn't helpful. Instead, we need to look at a concept, an idea, and be willing to try it out with intent. Because if we try it on for size, we will figure out if it fits us, as opposed to the opposite, which is spending a lot of time figuring out who we are and then going and finding the things that fit us. So there's three pillars. The first one is the change you seek to make. Are you here to make a contribution, or are you here to take something? Are you here to do what you are told, or are you here to question and to make things different? And answering that question honestly is really difficult, because it's all about the story we tell ourselves. And so if we can figure out how to tell ourselves a different story, then we might be able to make a different level of contribution. So some people wake up in the morning and say, how do I double my net worth? And some people wake up in the morning and say, how do I help the people in Bareilly, India get through another night without electricity? Those are two totally different kinds of change that you seek to make in the world, but they are both a change, right? The second pillar, which fits into the first one, because I think the first one's too hard to start with, is what possibility do you see? Because we've indoctrinated people from birth to either believe that they are entitled or not, to believe that they are special or not, to believe they have leverage or not. Do you see possibility in the change you seek to make? And the flip side of that, which goes with it, is learning to see the world as it is. And this is why, the work that my friend Derek Sivers has done, for example, is so important. Annie Duke on decision making, learning to see the world as it is. Because it's so easy to imagine we get to make it the way we want it to be, but we don't. The world is the way it is, and learning to see that reality is critical, and it changes our understanding of what is possible. Because if no one has ever done the work you hope to do, then you might be deluding yourself. If, on the other hand, there's a well-trodden path and people have gone on that path, then you might be able to follow it. So if we think about the stock market, of which I know nothing, lots and lots of people, millions of people have read Ben Graham, but almost none of them turned into Warren Buffett. So part of that is discipline. Part of it is seeing the possibility. Part of it is deciding what kind of 50-year journey you want to go on and how you will approach it. But none of it is that you didn't read Ben Graham, because all of the people did, right? And then the third pillar is, and this is the one that is the most interesting to me lately, how much emotional labor are you able and willing to expend to accomplish the thing you set out to do? And when I think about learning versus education, which I can talk about for hours, education is compliance, education is compulsory, education is coercion. Learning is serial incompetence on our way to getting better. And so the pairing, the tandem of emotional labor is, do you care enough to learn something? So there are all these things in my life I don't care enough to learn, that I could go get a book from the library, or I could go listen to 20 podcasts, or I could go practice something and I would get better at it. And I haven't done it, and I'm 60 years old. And the honest answer is not because I'm talented or not talented. It's just I don't care enough to expend the energy of what it would take to get good at that. So you asked me a simple question and I gave you a half-hour answer. But there you go. Back